Hey Orangetheory family, welcome to day 39 of your at-home workouts. Today you've got a 14-minute endurance power block. I recommend that you get a couple of weights, maybe a couple of baked bean cans that you can easily stack. And then for the later block, I recommend that you get a rucksack and fill that rucksack with as many baked bean cans as you can. You're going to be getting some burn on today and going to be earning those splat points. And just to let you in on a little surprise, your favourite exercise is coming up. So team, remember, tag us with Orangetheory at home, and also I will on that social media. Let's see your sweaty selfies. Team, enjoy today's workout, stay safe, and we will see you soon.
You ready to get that heart rate up a little bit?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get it started. Nice and easy. We are going to start with a side-to-side toe tap. So just like John he started in that standing set position, slight bend in those knees, and then we're quickly moving side to side, simply tapping the inside toe and then reaching that foot out. Nice big step to the side. You've got 20 total, so 10 in each direction. Our second exercise is going to be our squat with an overhead reach. So making sure we line up those anchors, ear, shoulder, hips stay in alignment as he's sitting into his heels, raising his hands up to the ceiling, keeping that core nice and tight. Think about if you were sitting in a chair. We're gonna do this 10 times. Your next exercise, opening up those hips just a little bit. Find a focal point so that we can work on that balance while we're also opening up those hips. Internal and external rotations. Think about drawing a circle with your knee. So you bend that knee up towards the ceiling, draw that circle to the back. Those are your external rotations. And then for internal, you're simply gonna draw that circle to the inside. We've got 5 one direction, 5 the other direction for 10 total, and then you'll switch to the opposite side. Next exercise will be our static alternating lateral lunge. Static simply means that we're going to keep our feet planted and move side to side. So you're going to shift your weight again into that heel, driving through that outside leg as we come back to that upright position before dropping into that opposite heel. As always, again, that core stays nice and tight. Your option, you can reduce the range of motion or warming up the backside of those legs. We might be doing legs a little bit later. Warm-up wouldn't be complete without jumping jacks. We've got 10 of those, so you're gonna raise those arms overhead. There we go, John. As you jump your feet to the outside, your option here, taking that jump out, step to the side, step back together.
Like the 4th of July, stars lighting my eyes like the sun. Walk on the red thing routine, like an old movie scene, taking every chance we can while we're young.
Today, we're going to give you a little low-impact cardio to mix things up. This block's going to be 11 minutes of work, 2 total rounds. We're going to treat it like tread work with some pushes, base, and all-outs coming your way. D, you ready to get sweaty?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got a 1-minute push. We're going to start with a 180-degree squat to calf raise. Feet are going to be hip-width apart, heavy in your heels, dropping into your squat, chest nice and tall, raising up, raising the heels off the ground to work those calves. On the way down in that squat, you're going to pivot on that left foot to rotate to the other side. Options here, you can always pivot while in a standing position if you need to. Next up, we have a 90-second base using an alternating reverse lunge. Feet on 2 separate train tracks, hip width apart, stepping back, dropping that back knee as low to the ground as you can, engaging your core the entire way through. Option here, you can always reduce the depth of that back knee. Next up, we got another 1-minute push, a crab hold with an alternating knee tap. Hands stacked behind you, underneath the shoulders, raising your hips off the ground. You're going to alternate bringing opposite hand to opposite knee. Option here, you can always drop those hips back down to the ground. We're going to then have 90 seconds of a base pace going right back to that alternating reverse lunge. We got to close things out with a 30-second all out. 30 seconds of a standing overhead reach to alternating knee tap. For this one, hands are going to be fully extended overhead. We're going to bring that knee up to about hip height, making contact in the middle. Remember, smile, pick up the pace if you're feeling it. An option here, you can slow things down, raise that knee a little bit lower. You've got 2 total rounds here. Let's get to work. Ready to work that core? This block is 8 minutes of work, 5 exercises that you're going to repeat until time is called. Your goal, at least 2 rounds. Ready to work that core, D?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. For this block, you're going to want to grab 2 smaller objects. D brought in 2 boxes of tissues for this one. You can use Tupperware or whatever's available to you at home. We're going to start with 12 total reps of a V-up, over, and back. Dee's going to place her hands behind, hands stacked underneath her shoulders, shoulders nice and tall, feet together, legs straight, coming into that V-up, moving from side to side, making sure to clear those tissues. An option here, you can always remove one of those boxes and reduce the height. Next up, 12 total reps of a plank alternating tap. We're going to switch into our high plank position, hands stacked underneath the shoulders, feet hip width apart, belly button to spine, squeezing the glutes. We're going to alternate bringing one hand to the top of that pile and switching sides. An option here, you can drop down to the knees, but make sure to keep that core engaged. Next up, we got another dynamic V-up coming your way. 12 total reps of a V-up in and out. We're going to start with our feet to the outside of our pile of tissues, chest nice and tall, same starting position, raising those heels off the ground, over, bringing the feet together and back, keeping the legs straight the entire way through. Just like the other V-up, you can always remove one tissue box if you need to. Next up, we're going to put those tissue boxes to our side, 12 total reps of a plank pull through. Back into our high plank position, really having to squeeze those glutes so we can get that anti-rotation going in the hips. D is going to bring one tissue box, then the next, creating that stack on the opposite side. You've got 12 total reps here. You can always drop down to your knees if you need to. Last but not least, we have 12 total reps of a double crunch with a pass. We're going to take our tissues. We're going to start them off right. We're going to start with them in our hands for this. Legs fully extended, arms extended overhead, meeting in the middle, bringing our object to between our feet, back to our starting position, bringing it back to our hands. An option here, you can always bring your object to the knees to reduce the range of motion. 12 reps for each movement, 5 exercises. Let's get that core burning.
This block is all about peaks and valleys, and we are talking about what's going to happen to your heart rate. Are you ready to jump into the orange zone?
I see what you did there.
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do with this next block. We have 3 variations of your favorite exercise, the burpee. 1 minute of work, 30 seconds of rest in between for 2 full rounds. We're going to start with our standard burpee. So coming to the top of your mat, you're going to place your hands on the ground, shoot your feet out behind you into that high plank position, and then jump up at the top. Keep that core nice and tight. If jumping's not for you today, walk it out, walk it back in, and give that little calf raise at the top. Second variation, we're going to add that push-up in. That is our full burpee. So same set position, drop those feet back, drop your chest towards the floor, press back up, and add that jump at the top. Your option, walk it out, drop to your knees if you need to, walk it back in, stand with that calf raise. Are you ready for number 3?
What's number 3?
Let's grab that 15 to 20 pound object. We chose that backpack full of nice heavy textbooks. This is our burpee to a ground to press. So with this one, drop it into the same starting position, shoot your legs out and in, then grab a hold of that object, curl and press it towards the ceiling with power. Your option, again, walk it out and in. You can always lighten up your weight as well. 2 full rounds, 3 variations of burpees. Let's earn those splat points right now.
All right, it is time to cool it down after all that hard work. We've got a 6-minute hip and back flexibility cool down block for you. We're gonna start seated position for a seated straddle stretch. You're gonna open your legs to a comfortable angle and keep your torso nice and tall up out of the hips. Hinging forward, keeping your chest nice and tall, reaching as far as you can before you lose your posture. Set your hands down. We're gonna stay here for 20 seconds. Then we're going to switch to the opposite side. Same thing, chest tall, reach down towards your toes as far as you can go, and hold for 20 seconds. Finally, we're going to spend 20 seconds in the center, walking your hands out, keeping your chest nice and tall. From here, we're going to move to a seated body twist. So you're going to cross one leg over the opposite leg, back of the hand goes to the back of the knee, and you're slowly going to rotate open, keeping your chest tall and your body wiggled up. From here, 20 seconds, and then we'll switch sides. Next, we're going to take it to a figure 4. So lying flat on your back, you're going to cross one knee so that the ankle is over the opposite knee. Thread your hands through to the back of the thigh and pull in nice and slow until you feel a stretch through the backs of the legs. 20 seconds on one side, and then we'll switch 20 seconds to the other side. Now we're going to move into a supine hip opener. So we're flat on our back, pulling one knee in, getting a nice stretch through the backs of the legs, 20-second hold here. We're going to then open up the opposite arm into a T for support and let our knee fall to the side, making sure our shoulders stay flat to the mat. 20-second hold, and then we're going to switch back to center, switch arms to the T, and let the knee fall to the opposite side of the floor, watching your shoulders. 20 seconds here. Our final stretch is going to be the happy baby. So you're going to lay flat on your back with your back nice and flat and your belly button pulled in. Reach towards the tops of the toes and open them up just slightly. If you'd like, you can add a little motion, rocking side to side and massaging the lower back. All right, you've earned that stretch. Let's get to it.